And then she beat me at pool, and then she kissed me like there was nobody else in the room. As last orders were called was when she stood on the stool, after dancing to Kaylee, singing to trad tunes. I never heard Carrick Fergus ever sung so sweet. A cappella in the bar, using her feet for a beat. Oh, I could have that voice playing on repeat for a week. And in this packed out room, swear she was singing to me. You know she played her fiddle in an Irish band, but she fell in love with an Englishman. Kissed her on the neck and then I took her by the hands. And baby, I just wanna dance, my pretty little Galway girl. My, 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 my Galway girl. My, 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 my Galway girl. My, 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 my Galway girl. And now we'd all said our welcome and it's closing time. I was holding a hand was holding mine. Our coats both smell of smoke, whiskey and wine, as we fill up her lungs with the cold air of the night. I walked her home, then she took me inside to finish some Doritos and another bottle of wine. I swear I'm gonna put you in a song that I write about a Galway girl and a perfect night. She played the fiddle in an Irish band, but she fell in love with an Englishman. Kissed her on the neck and then I took her by the hands. And baby, I just wanna dance, my pretty little Galway girl. My, 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 my Galway girl. My, 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 my Galway girl. My, 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 my Galway girl. Hey!
We've been friends for such a long time. I was wondering one day you could be mine. If I tell her, I hope she make up her mind. But she don't know, no, she don't know. I hope letting her know isn't the end. Gotta do what I gotta do, need to make amends. Don't wanna get between her and her friends, but she don't know, no.
I really know what you like, you really know what I want. Don't be so passive, just love me, it's not. You say you got it, but we know what's up. You know you guilty of being fine. You should be guilty of being mine, being mine, oh being mine. Well.
You ain't gotta worry about a thing. You ain't gotta hurry about a thing. Me and Young Jay taking shots, going curry out of range. And we came here to murder y'all again. But you can take your time with it. With a little pepper combined with it. Yeah, we here taking your spot. Two young kings, that's just something you're not. That's why we getting out of line with it. It's pepper, baby. Jay.
We've been friends for such a long time. I was wondering one day you could be mine. If I tell her, I hope she make up her mind. But she don't know, no, she don't know. I hope letting her know isn't the end. Gotta do what I gotta do, need to make amends. Don't wanna get between her and her friends, but she don't know, no, she don't know. When I'm gonna make my move, the signs are clear, but I don't know what to do. Anything just for me to get to you. That's what I'm gonna do. I hope that we can take it nice and slow. Cause I don't ever wanna let you go. I can't do it to myself, but it's best you know. But you don't know. She don't know. She don't know. She don't know. She don't know.
be so passive, just love me, it's not. You say you got it, but we know what's up. You know you guilty of being fine. You should be guilty of being mine. Being mine. Oh, being mine.
Look,
Well,
I mean, my ex don't mean a thing, do it. And me and you, that got a ring to it. So we could do it like a king do it. I come and do it like a king do it. Cause I got a bond like nobody else. But what I know, what you know, what we know. And I ain't got no time for nobody else. But
I'll just make sure that you know that things never change. No,
Things never change.
things never change. Oh, no,
Things never change.
things never change. I'll just make sure that you know that. I'll just make sure that you know that.
I'm calling this phone up just to tell him how much I really love him, cause he's everything I want. He listens to me, cares for me, so I truly believe God sent me an angel from above. It's gonna love me for life. This will be perfect, only because it's the only way I can describe. So this is love. Tell me what it is. I could be dreaming and just plain crazy. This is love. Tell me what it is. 'Cause I never felt like this, baby. This is love. Be what it is to me. Be oh, this is love. Be what it is to me. Be oh, this is love. I'm selfish 'cause I don't wanna share 'em with nobody, not even those people that came before me. But see,
Sorry, I was wondering. Hello and welcome to.
Oh,
Ooh, yes.
oh.
She got. Okay.
Okay,
so-
I'm gonna try to call her then.
Alright, so I'm gonna turn them down as they figure that out. So, welcome to another episode of Stacks. This is episode 32, I believe. No, 33. We've stepped up. We are technically in the amount of amount of episodes we have. We are in the second month, even though the show has been going on for more than that. But of episodes, we are in our second month. So, thank you for tuning in. I was delaying with some dance moves as the music played because one of our co-hosts was having difficulties getting service on their phone because, as you know, as I said, a lot of people's college semesters started, and Nana and Nicky actually started classes this week. I start next week, as in 2 days, so I am still at home, but they are on their campus, so they have to call in again, so you won't be seeing their faces for some time, but you hopefully will be hearing their voices and I've broken down. Well, that happens. That's life. So, if you're in school and you already started, I hope classes are going well, and I'm just going to keep rambling so we get Nicky to work. But, oh, no, it didn't work. Okay. Alright, so, did we have Nana? Nope, Nana might be busy with Nicky. So this is episode 33 of the Stacks. Oh my gosh, these people. Oh,
And my phone keeps cutting in and out.
Nana, it says 3. Oh my gosh, what is? We're upgrading the world. But this is episode 33 of the Stacks, and do I have to do a tagline? Nicky's usually here to do this. So this is the Stacks, where education and social life meet, and I came in this with mad amount of energy because I was like, we need to be pumped on this show. No more dour,
Oh my goodness.
lazy, tired, and sleep deprived. Because I don't have an excuse to be sleep deprived. I am sleep deprived, but I don't have an excuse yet because college didn't start for me. I'm just sleep deprived because I have terrible habits. Oh, and before we start, I would like to say I finally changed most of the playlist, so you'll be hearing a lot of new songs. There's going to be some old ones, about 4 or 5 are the same, but on this shuffle, hopefully you hear like a lot of new things so you're not hearing the same exact songs in the background. So today's episode 33, is called Saving Them Bucks, which I love putting titles in proper English. They sound fun. rarely speak that way, but it's just like when your situations are shook. If that was one of my favorite titles, it gets down with the peeps of my age. You can see my familiarity with slang. My friend hates when Nicky hates when I say lit, because it doesn't sound right coming from me. I tend not to speak in slang often. Use a lot of SAT vocabulary. It's stuck with me, all that studying. But I do occasionally try to level with my fellow peers. I do the awkward head jiggle thing when I try to be relatable. Nana, I'm relatable, right?
Well, I couldn't tell you because I can't actually hear you that well. So you're gonna have to give me a second.
Look at that, technical difficulties as usual. And it's not from my part. Usually I'm the one who's messing things up from the equipment. Now it's their phones. So,
Don't come for me.
I'm not coming for you. I'm celebrating the fact that my technology is actually working for once.
You know what?
Okay, so today we're going to talk about how to save money in college, because as the semester starts, there's a lot of fees you have to pay, a lot of things you need to buy, and funding can always be a little bit iffy, because we already talked about for things when it comes to tuition or paying like college fees, how to find ways to get money from other sources besides your bank account. We talked about things: loans, scholarship, fellowships, volunteer. Ooh, a call. Is this working? I'm gonna answer it. Hold up. We're gonna merge the calls. We might have both. Oh, there's a lot of people.
Hello?
Hello.
Oh my God, she got here.
Hi,
Restart my phone.
Nicky.
Ooh.
Nicky.
Yes?
What's the tagline?
I've been trying to figure out this issues with my phone and start me to do the tag
You'd never be prepared. Let's go.
Is the facts for education and this? Wow, it's one sentence.
It's always one thing. And you still can't do it.
Come on, Nicky.
You can't just put it on. I mean, like, okay, we're education and social life meet. There you go.
Yes.
Gorgeous.
Question, Nana.
Huh?
Are you currently looking? Oh, look, Scrubs is on. This was for you, by the way.
Oh my God, it is?
Yes.
That's my song.
Yes. So I was just starting into the topic of today, saving money. So I was saying how before we talked about ways you can get money to pay for your tuition and college fees, like fellowships, scholarships, loans, and a volunteer program thing like Sponsor Change, which I was looking into, or working on like doing work studies, which is another thing that if you qualify for FAFSA, they can allow you to work and the money you make goes towards paying your tuition or other fees, which is very useful. So that was one way of helping the very broke college students help not be as broke. And today is continuation of not being broke, but it's less for the fees that go directly into your tuition and college fees and more for the other expenses like textbooks, food, general living expenses, and maybe some of the fees for recreations. So I usually love pushing off to someone else to start, but I'm gonna be a mature person and do the first thing myself. So, one way to save money that's really big is when it comes to textbooks, because like you can be that person who avoids classes that have a lot of money for they have very expensive textbooks, or you can avoid classes that don't have. Like I know some people who save money, they just avoid classes that have certain textbooks as long as they can hit the requirements they need, but some classes you can't avoid and you get a textbook, or a class you really want to take has a textbook. And textbooks can be a lot of money. College textbooks tend to go anywhere from $80 to $200 or $300, which is very expensive for a book you probably only use once in your life and that you probably don't even read. Like, you'll buy the book, and like, you really need this book, and you're so convinced that they told you you need this book, and then the book gathers dust the entire semester, and then as you're packing up to move out for the break, you're like, I forgot this textbook was here. Is this where it's been this entire time? And an entire spider family built their colony in it.
And then when you try to sell it back, they give you like $10.
Yeah,
like $200.
Sometimes you have the Amazon buybacks, and I found out Amazon doesn't buy back books that are particular for your school. So if your school has their own special edition, don't buy it. Get the equivalent. Get the general equivalent edition. It tends to be a bit more affordable, and the only difference between the one that your school has and the one that the general edition tends to be the order of the chapters, because Amazon was like, oh, sorry, we don't buy back this specialized edition of your book. And I was so offended when I was promised a buyback. Like, no, we don't take this version. I was like, this is the only version my school wants me to buy. Everything has to have their name on it. Like, why does this turn to a rant really fast? So textbooks are expensive, and it could be pocket money that you're not willing to depart with. So if you can't avoid taking that class with a textbook, there are a few ways you can save money. You can first try not to buy a new copy of the textbook, because that's a lot of money. It's in mint condition, it's pretty, it has no creases, but you're gonna mess it up anyways. So what's the point? So one of the first things I would recommend is see if there is anyone else who has taken that class in prior semesters and see if they are willing or are selling their textbook. Because they tend to sell it at a lower price than they had purchased it, and it may have some wear and tear from use if they're one of those people who actually use their textbooks. But it tends to be much more affordable, and you can also ask them, hey, did you actually use this textbook? And if they say no, I'm like, I hope you find someone else who can buy it from you, or you did, thanks for. And it's interesting, there's the type of person who writes in their books, you can end up finding some useful notes in them. So first, find someone who attends your college or university and see if they have a textbook that you can purchase from them. A second option would be, I'm just going to work down from like most expensive to least expensive option. After buying it from someone from school, you can go, if you're buying it from Amazon or some other online place, buy an old or used copy. Like new, used, still good copies, not the one that's falling apart, missing its cover and at least 5 pages in the middle of the book with spilled Kool-Aid and Sharpie all across it. But get a good but slightly used book. They tend to be still pretty good condition. It's just general wear and tear, and you get it at a much more affordable price. Third option would be to rent the textbook instead of just buying it. Some textbooks allow you to rent them. You have to return it by the end of the semester. So in the case that I had to buy a textbook for one of my classes on intimate relationships, and it was a book on like marriage. It was like marriage and family in the search of intimacy or something. The actual book is over $200, very expensive. But if I'm deciding to rent it, and it's only about $80-something, a much more affordable price. Still a bit expensive, but much better than the over $200. And the final option is to see if you can find a PDF of it. And you'll notice like PDFs tend to be, you can get like from more reliable and more sketchier places. So a lot of universities tend to create online databases that hold files that can be shared with other people, and people who have taken classes who have found PDFs upload them and then they share it with other people. So you can end up finding someone, you end up like again like someone's like, oh, do you know where you can get those textbooks? And they can send you the link and you can download the entire PDF of your book. Or like that, those are the databases that students share amongst themselves. And then you have other websites like different Roost or pub.com things, you'll find what they are. They have different names where you can search for books and they can check databases to see if there's a PDF. It tends to be for like a lot of STEM related books. Or like, actually no, it tends to cover a lot of textbooks, and you can download it from there, get an EPUB version, get a PDF version. And once you have the PDF, some people just like read it on their device. I'll share it with my, like in my email, so I can download it on my computer, download it on my phone. If I have a tablet, I can put it on that as well. And then, but some people, if within your fees, they give you an allotment from printers on campus, like my school does. Many people, sometimes we get so much printing quota that we, at the end of the semester, we have so much in the end that we don't use it. So a lot of students in the beginning end up printing out their entire textbooks from the PDF. So it's not, it doesn't have the fancy cover, but you have the PDF and you print it and now you have a physical copy, and that's what many students do. So that's a much more affordable way you can get a textbook. Alright, you got any save money advice, Nikki? And
did you say anything about the book voucher?
Huh?
Did you say anything about like a book voucher?
Oh yeah, book vouchers. Also, there tends to be discounts for students, I believe. That if you're a current student in your university with your valid... one thing is Amazon Prime has a student version that if you have a valid school ID, school email, they give you Amazon Prime for free for a certain amount of months and then a discount price, so that you can get a lot of your things you order at without having to pay extra. Like if you can get them faster without having to pay the extra money to get them that quickly if you need it really quickly. But also a lot of textbooks you can get vouchers for textbooks as a student, and not just textbooks, it can also go into other things like your devices. So if you need to buy a laptop, they tend to be student discounts for devices like laptops, for textbooks, even for like streaming videos or movies online. They tend to like, oh, you're a student? We know you can't afford what we actually offer, so here's a discount. Yeah, is there any more you want to say on vouchers? I feel like you might know more. Nikki? Nikki?
Huh?
You were cued.
Like
vouchers or anything else?
Food-wise, I was thinking of some stores have student discounts. So if you get tired of the school food or you want to try something else, maybe there's like stores around the area that has like discounts for students. That's the only thing I could think of.
Oh yeah, like they're like, oh, we accept. Oh, some stores also accept your dining dollars or whatever currency your school has. So if you have some of those extra money currency things that only work on your campus, some schools like, we accept that too because the school will send a certain amount of money to them for them to offer that to you. So that's a possibility to get food off campus that's much more affordable than if you had spent your own money and just visited not a student.
Also, going back to the book thing, if you know someone who's like in the same major as you and they've already bought the books that you might have to buy already, you can probably ask them, maybe, I don't know, and see if they'll sell it back to you for a cheaper price, or if they love you, they might just give you the book. But you can see if you know anyone who's in the same area and who's already gone through that course who might sell it to you cheaper.
Oh, another one, if you're currently taking a class at the same time with someone you know, you guys can end up splitting the price for a book, where you, depending on how many people want to use it, you can... Oh, especially, it's great when some of the books come with an online... Like, when you buy the book, they also give you an online version. That one works marvelously. So, if it's just a physical book, you guys can, like, oh, we'll pay 1/3. If there's 3 of you, you each pay 1/3 of the price. And then you meet together for study groups, or you take pictures and send it to each other, so you all don't have to buy individual books, because the likelihood of you using that book often is decreased. It's not as likely, so you have time to share it with each other. And if it is one of those books that also come with an online version, like they come with a module that gives you a PDF version, the second I download that PDF version, like, oh, you help pay for it, I'm gonna send it to you, anyone need this? So that's a useful thing. So if you can't, if you, that's like the cheapest option is splitting the price with someone else to buy it. Textbooks. Oh, is Nana there?
Yeah, she's there.
Yeah, I'm here.
You got anything to say?
Well, I wasn't asked before, so.
I said Nicky or Nana, and you said nothing.
Well, I can barely hear you people. Except Nicola. Nicola, we can always hear you.
Oh wow,
This is the first time that Nikki's phone is louder than Nana's phone, though. I've never had the case. Usually you're the loudest one and we can barely hear Nicky. Now Nikki's coming through strong and you're like muffled.
No, but every time we're on the phone, she's always all up in the phone anyway.
It's because I have the microphone thing, headphone, let's say hijack.
I do not, so I have to actually project.
How about we go on a break and then we can argue then and come back?
True. Because I got a whole list of stuff, so.
Alright, we're gonna take a break and then Nana's gonna come in with her organization that the rest of us lack. Enjoy Death of the Bachelor.
Like my heart is going to burst. Alone at a table for two, and I just wanna be served. And when you think of me, am I the best you've ever had? Share one more drink with me, smile even though you're sad. I'm walking the long road, watching the sky fall. In your dress tangles my neck. How do I live the death of a bachelor? Oh, oh, letting the water fall. The death of a bachelor. Oh, oh, seems so fitting for happily ever after. How could I ask for more? A lifetime of laughter. The death of a bachelor.
Just turn around now, 'cause you're not welcome anymore.
pieces of my broken heart. And I spent so many nights feeling sorry for myself. I used to cry, but now I hold my head up high. And you see me, somebody new. I'm not that changed of a little person that's still in love with you. So you feel like dropping in, thinking that I would be free. But now I'm saving all my loving for someone who's loving me. Oh, now go, walk out the door. Just turn around now, 'cause you're not welcome anymore, no. Weren't you the one who tried to hurt me with goodbye? Did you think I'd crumble? Did you think I'd lay down and die? Oh, no, not I. I will survive. I will survive. Oh, as long as I know how to love, I know I'll stay alive. 'Cause I got all my life to live, and I got all my love to give, and I will survive. The answer is yeah, 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 yeah. If you wanna know, do I need you? No, 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 no,
Sorry for the random noises you were hearing. Well, apparently when I opened a web page, and that web page had its own music thing, so the second I opened it, it started automatically playing music over my music. So I was trying to stop that from happening. But we are back for now, and we are having Nana come in with her list of ways to help you save money, because apparently she has known where it's at this entire time and hasn't bothered to tell us how to save money this entire time. So I'm surprised. I've been going broke for a year and 2 years and a half, and now she's speaking up. Okay.
You didn't ask, number one.
I didn't know I didn't know I could ask. I didn't know who my resources, who I'm turning to. For I know I'm gonna turn to someone they're more broke than I am.
Well, I am very broke.
But you better at saving money in your broke state.
I gotta figure it out. Like, okay, so like one thing to do first. If you got iPhone, you got Google Play, you got something, okay? You might want to invest in Ebates app, Ibotta, stuff like that. It's very helpful in terms of saving money. So whenever you buy something, you're getting cash back on all of those items that are available on the app to buy. That's first things first. So when you're at school and everything and you gotta take a cab or whatever else, you getting money back. So you take an Uber, get money back. Lyft, get money back. There you go. First things first there. As well as when you're looking for books, you have to look everywhere. So I usually stick to like the main things that I know for a fact if I have to buy a book is going to be easy for me to do so. iBooks, Chegg, Amazon, and my Kindle. And I also do Audible for some of the books because sometimes it's not just the textbook or it's not a regular textbook where, it's listing information. Sometimes it's a book that is written very story-like. It's very continuous in that way. So sometimes a lot of these books will have an Audible, an audiobook made for it. And sometimes I just go off of that because I'm lazy sometimes. I don't want to read. Okay? And if you do that, especially if you start a study group with some of your friends, if you have the audiobook and one of your friends in the class has the physical book, even if you like the physical book, you can read the physical book with your friend and also have the audio book playing, that might just help you out a little bit. And it's cheaper anyway when you do something like that. And then if you're looking for PDFs or if you're looking for PowerPoint presentations to help you with studying or to find a book, if you just go onto Google, you type in the book title or the topic that you're trying to get information on, and then you put type, what is it, a semicolon, something like that, and then you put PDF after and search, and that should bring you every single PDF or PowerPoint presentation that is in some relationship towards what you're searching. So you should be able to find pretty much anything having to do with that topic. And that's probably the easiest way to get through there.
I'm gonna need this list later, just saying.
And then I just have some, regular things like when it comes down to buying school supplies.
Yes, go for it.
You need a book, you need a notebook, you need some pencils, some pens, something. Take it behind the Dollar Tree, take it behind the Five Below. If you wind up having time to go to Staples during that sale, go there. But on any other time throughout the semester, if you need some quick stuff, some loose leaf, okay, Five Below, Dollar Tree.
Dollar Tree, yeah.
Spend less.
Besides notebooks, everything I purchased so much things right before my first semester at college. I purchased so many school supplies from the sale at Staples, it still lasted me till today. I have not run out of all the loose leaf, all the loose leaf, pencils, erasers, everything I purchased before I started college, it still lasted me till near the end of my third year of college.
I believe it. I believe it.
I can't.
Notebooks.
Why can't you believe it?
Yeah, notebooks.
No, I lose everything.
Yeah, no, I have a giant box that I bring to me in my room every semester, and it's just full of school supplies I purchased from Staples.
I have a ton of stationery, but the one piece of stationery that I wind up using the most often, that I wind up having to buy, is index cards or something. So then I'm always going back to Dollar Tree to buy more index cards because I need them. I need a lot of them.
I don't use them often, but so I have a lot of index cards. But notebooks and folders, I tend to go through quickly because notebooks I write in them, so eventually you can't keep reusing them from. I sometimes I can reuse a notebook for 2 subjects, but that's about it. And then folders, they tend to get busted up by all the paper I put in them, so I have to get new folders. But yeah, if you stockpile well and get those
definitely use Ebates app, Ibotta, and hopefully I'll give these to our girl over here so she can put them in the
I should post these things. I need to get links to put them. If you're on the Stacks Facebook page, I'm gonna start posting some of the things we talk about. Because I'm just saying them, and I don't expect you to go through an hour-long thing to get some of this advice back.
True.
So I should start posting some of the links to things I said. I posted awkward Instagram photos of some of the things, so I'm going to actually put the links to them instead. So that should be one to go. So check out our Facebook. Oh, our Facebook, I haven't talked about our social media in a while now. If you don't know, we have, as you can see, well, if you're on the radio, you don't know, but we have a YouTube called The Stacks, and we have a Facebook at Ask the Stacks. And I slur my words, so I'm going to spell this out for you.
And Twitter.
And I was going to say that. I was going to spell out what the handle was because I slur it. Ask the Stacks, it's ASKTHESTACKS. So at Ask the Stacks is the handle for our Facebook and our Twitter and our Instagram. Because I don't use Instagram a lot, so it's not updated the most because I still don't understand Instagram and I don't have a lot to post because it's a lot of effort. I feel like if I start like editing pictures and stuff, I'm gonna start putting them on our Instagram, but I tend not to use it often, but it's there. I'm a Twitter, Facebook person, and slowly a LinkedIn person, but I don't like things like Snapchat and like Instagram. My Instagram's gonna be updated often, and you're not gonna see a Snapchat on me anytime soon. But those are our social medias. So Twitter, I tend to just talk about news if we're having technical difficulties or things aren't working well or we need to take a break or delay. I'll announce the news there. Our Facebook is hopefully we'll be posting more information. And our Instagram tends to hold things of things we're doing when we're not doing the show or or pictures of things we've talked about during the show. So those are the and the YouTubers if you want to see our faces. Which I don't like. I like when you come and tune in, but I'm doing some of the weirdest things. On the if you're on the radio, you just got our voice and you don't know half of the weird stuff I'm doing on camera. Except for that one person who tends to come listen to the show. I'm like, they're probably the only person who realizes how much I flail and dance during this. So that's the stacks. Oh, and we have a number 2 in case you want to call in. That's a thing. Because we're a live show. So we're open to people calling into the show. The number is 917-408-3653. And we have an email. It's askthestacks@gmail.com. We have a lot of social media and we have stuff. We just don't talk about it a lot. And if you're on the YouTubes and you don't know, we're also on 92.1 FM. We're also on the radio. So we have a radio, we have a YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, an email, and a number. Man, mind blown. These are not talked about enough. So back on topic of the episode, just to let you know we're a legit thing. Anybody else got any advice on how to save money?
Don't buy too many snacks.
Yeah.
Please don't do it.
I mean, I do it anyway, but don't do it.
Don't be like her.
No.
Oh, almost fell.
You shouldn't.
If it's possible for you, cook instead of doing like I know for Jay we got dining dollars at her college. Here I have like Pup Cash or whatever. Just if you can cook more often than you eat out in general.
Oh,
it's cheaper and then you got leftovers. And it tastes better.
Yes. And depending on what meal plan you have, like for my first year and a half, I had a dining plan. So I use swipes and then I would have unlimited amount of food as long as I'm in that swipe. But I switched to a $9 thing because it gave me more access to a greater variety and quality of food. However, it provided less for the entire semester than I anticipated. So I would recommend if you have a meal plan where you have a set currency that you can work through, budget generally how much money you have for each day in your semester. Take into account the breaks when you're not going to be on campus eating, when times you're planning on cooking, and see how much money you have, because sometimes it looks like you have a lot of money and then you find out that you probably have anything from $10 to $15 a day if you like that's how much you have if you want to last your entire semester through finals, and you realize, hey, the food on campus is actually pretty expensive and $15 would probably get me 2 meals a day. And if you're unfortunately in the $10 bracket, which I usually am by the end of my semester, that gets me 1 full meal and a yogurt on campus. So I think that's something you should figure out from the beginning. And on the topic of figuring out how much money you actually have, because when you see this big value, you're like, I got a lot of dough and I can buy all I want. And then you realize how quickly it goes as you buy food. So I think if you can afford it, you should look into either a club or a class that teaches you about budgeting. It's advice I should take on my own, but my school actually gave us a list of websites that have online courses for students to learn how to budget properly. So So it teaches you how to keep track of and best use your money. And I think a skill everyone should have, especially once you get out of college and you're really adulting. If you're already adulting, you're the person who's got a job and you already live on your own and paying bills and paying taxes, let me know, because I have no idea how to do any of those. But if you're at my level of like not a teenager but not really an adult, so you're in that awkward phase of what am I supposed to do? Help me.
Yep.
I think you should look into see what your university offers when it comes to budgeting, whether it be an online course, an actual class, or a club on campus, and that can help you a lot. If even you're not making money from it, but you best know how to use the money you currently have. Oh, another one is get a job on campus if you can. Look for jobs that, first off, look for jobs that correlate with your skill set. So if you're a technology major, look at the technology-based club jobs on campus. If you're good with kids or you're taking a major in education, look for things that let you work with young people. Like my school offered jobs to work in daycares, or you can work in hospitals, you can work in technology departments, you can work as secretaries. And if you think you don't have what it takes, or work in the library, if you don't think you have what it takes to be on a job, you also have the job as student servers and work as cashiers. So there's a lot of job opportunities. First, see if it's feasible within your schedule, and then see how much they pay you, and see how much you can work. And that's a good way to not only not spend as much, because there tends to be a little bit of leeway if people bring food to those events and you don't have to buy yourself, but also you making money, so you're increasing how much you can then learn how to budget properly with. That was a lot all over the place.
It was a lot.
Just learn how to budget and get a job if you can, or if you want. I love I'm saying all these good life things that I haven't done myself. Actually, no. I have had a job on campus, but it's only been on Saturdays as a TA for the STEP program. So it's a position I held. I did a job because I held the same job when I was in high school for my local STEP, and when I went to college, they have their own STEP program, so I do a TA position for that. So that's like I'm trying to look into finding part-time on-campus job that happens during the week, so I can make a little moolah. That's how people save money now still, right? Is there some other slang term for it? I don't know. Like dough, cha-ching. I don't know. Okay, you guys got anything else?
Nope.
No, I'm good.
Alright, money. Oh, what, and always look into opportunities that things that might not be on campus. There are online things like that allow students to make money. It can be you can be a content writer is one way people make money. You have content writer for like where they don't pay you, but there are opportunities where you can get paid if you're really knowledgeable about something. They have it, whether it's targeted towards college students as well or high schoolers. They have it for high schoolers as well if you're also in high school. So looking for those opportunities online, and they tend to have this. Oh, tutoring. Whether on campus or tutoring for in the neighborhood of your university. If you join certain websites, they can tell you people who are nearby your campus who are like in high school or middle school who need help with a subject, so you can actually get a job through that too. So, and that's usually on your basis of how available you are. So always look for things on and off your campus to make money, and then save money. Like, be careful, because like when I got the meal plan with the $9, I went crazy in the beginning. I was like, I can go to the fancy place on campus, and I was like, I was buying sushi and like Indian food and everything. I was like, because number one, I think the reason I went so crazy is because I was so deprived of like quality food on campus for so long that I went crazy when I had the opportunity and access to it. And then I was like, whoa, I don't have enough money to keep going at this. So if you have it, you have to really think about it and carefully plan how you're going to spend your money. Other ways you can say it. But I feel like there's something we're missing on other things. Oh, RA, being an RA, that's a good way to save money, because I can't believe I forgot this. So An RA, if you don't know, is what we call a resident assistant, and they tend to be the person who lives on. When you in dorms, you have a bunch of floors where people live on them, and there tends to be someone in charge of that floor, and that's what a resident assistant is. And unlike the RHD, which is the Resident Hard Directory, tends to be an employee of the university who gets paid and they're in charge of the building. And a resident assistant tends to be a student who is also an employee of the university, but when if you apply to it and you get accepted and you get trained, you're in charge of the safety and emotional security of your residents, who are the people who live on the floor and building with you. But what's so beneficial about it is if you're an RA, they pay for your housing. So because instead of like giving you an actual wage, that they take off that major fee that many people have to deal with. So you can live on campus without paying, but you work as an RA, and it's a great position because it's a great leadership skill. You learn a lot about communication and dealing with different types of personalities, and it can be it looks great on a resume. And there's many opportunities that come from being an RA and the elevation to other.
But remember, not everybody's gonna be, you gotta weigh the cost of what you're actually gonna be giving up, though. Because on some campuses, you've given up a lot more of your time than you probably would like to. So you just gotta make sure you have the right mindset. Don't just go in there for the money. I'm telling you, it's a bad idea if you just go in there like, oh, I'm gonna live here.
If you like the idea of working with people and helping people and you think you have personality for it, because my RA definitely has the personality for it. Like, you don't want me to get started on my RA. He's amazing and I love him so much. Like, apparently when I talk to other people about RAs, they're like, I don't even know who my RA is. And I'm like, how do you not know your RA? My RA, you see him all the time. He's so not caring and kind of like, I want to go in this entire rant how awesome my RA is. Like, I had him my freshman year and he was my RA for my first year, and then I got him again my third year. He's currently my RA. And he's just so, like, if you're having a bad day, he is there. And he's amazing. And sometimes he'll randomly stop and he'll like knock on your door. He's like, this is RA, I have cookies. And he's just there, cookies he baked himself. He just appears with a bunch of cookies to give to the suite. And I'm like, why are you this great? So you have to be like a certain person. Like, you don't have to be his level of awesome, because I think he set the bar for RAs. But you have to be someone who's willing and able to work with people, and who has a genuine investment in other people's well-being, and not just for the money. But I'm like, if you gotta be an RA, I aspire. If I was an RA, I would aspire to his level of RA-ship. But I don't think anyone can ever fully embody or be him. He's too amazing in himself. So, ideals. But that's a very good way to save money. Oh, and there are, like I said, like in cases of fellowships or other internship opportunities, if you look enough, you can find them. There are cases where there's certain jobs on campus or positions on campus that are partially internship, and they don't pay you, but they do take off other fees in various parts of your things that are required from you. Don't know exactly. It depends on your university and what department you're working in, but they can be helpful. They can either like, they can supplement some of it for you, or they can cut off a fee to say if you work for a certain amount for us or do these tasks. So always look out for those opportunities. And I think those are great ways to save money. And if you're particularly skilled or an artistic person yourself, maybe you can look into like a small side business of it. Like, I'm going to the parts like, this is a bit more or less schoolwork, but this is just generally how to save money or make money as a student. If you're an artistically inclined person, or you have a, not artistically, you can be technologically inclined, sciencely inclined. If you have something you can offer, a commodity to other people, you can look into starting like a small store or something online and commissioning or selling things or your services. That works something that's more flexible with your work schedule, and you're providing a service and people are paying you for it. And there, like some artists sell their artwork, Like, they have people who commission, like, I want you to do this for me. Can you make it? Can you sew this for me? Can like I know this one girl on my campus. She's really good at knitting, and she can knit like elephants, like stuffed elephants for you, and hats and scarves. So she can make money. She makes money with that as well. So these are creative ways of using your skills. That's not an academic basis, but it's you're a student, and between your studies, you have the time to do this, and it would help you. And you also, that looks great on a resume as well. Or you can say, I have skills and I have something to show that I have utilized my skills in a capitalistic way. And look how awesome I am. So, y'all got nothing else?
Nah.
Is Nikki awake?
I don't have anything.
Oh, since we have the time, that means we can actually talk about Nana also has her own radio show. And
Yeah,
I thought since she
campus
contributed,
for now.
since she contributes so much to being in mine, she deserves some arena to talk about her own in case you are interested in that. So Nana,
Oh my God.
you have the floor to talk about your show. So,
Yeah, I have on my college station, I have the Hot Mess Central radio show. A lot of nonsense happens on that show.
I just want to be.
And my show is actually 2 hours long. So it's kind of long, but it's not that bad because me and my co-hosts, we're entertaining enough to keep you around for 2 hours.
so what's like
At
the
least I would hope so.
So like, what's the general premise of your show, and how many people are involved in it? What do you guys tend to talk about? Oh, and when is it?
Well, this semester, I'm hoping to have it on Tuesdays, from 7 to 9. That is like the working thing until we start, hopefully in a week or so.
AM or PM? AM or PM?
PM. I'm too tired to AM. I got things to do. Like sleep. But there's like Hot Mess Central. It's just there's no really central theme. We're all just a hot mess, and we talk about whatever we feel like talking about in that moment.
All right. How many people are involved in it? Like, how many people are in the team, or how many voices will you hear?
Well, last semester I had, a set guests each week. Like I knew basically the main people who were going to be there. This time, not so much. I'm still working on finding a co-host, especially because I'm trying to do some Black History Month things for this semester, because February is right around the corner.
Ooh, we can talk about Valentine's Day and Black History coming up.
Yup. So I'm just working out the kinks of who I'm gonna have on and who is available at what times to come in for it. But I also have some people on call, so I'm ready.
Also, what station?
Huh?
What's the station number?
Well, we don't do stations anymore. We are strictly online for right now.
Alright, so maybe on the stacks we can put up some information for people who might be interested in it.
Hey, get them.
Alright, so that's everything we have for today. We're going to put some of the information of things we spoke about in this episode. Nana's show herself. And some of the information, we never did post the information about the other episode about give us the money thing. So we're going to put that up. If you're on our Facebook, like I said, at Ask the Stacks. You can type it in, you can find us on Facebook, you can find a bunch of information. You can follow our Facebook, follow our Twitter, or Instagram. And maybe on the next show you can try calling in or emailing us if you have any questions or anything you want us to talk about. Well, this was your host, Jay Blue, on the 33rd episode of The Stacks, Saving Them Bucks. And I was joined today by Nana and Nikki, both calling in from their respective colleges. Thank you for tuning in this Saturday. Nikki, what's the tagline?
I'm hungry.
That's not the tagline.
Stay hydrated.
Alright, we're just gonna cue out with that.
What you know about me? What you know about me? What you know about me? What you know?